Friends, in this episode we are going to cover the Consumer Protection Act 1986. Now, the objective of this act is to provide better protection to the interests of the consumer. For example, A. The right to be protected against marketing of goods which are hazardous to life and property. B. Right to be informed about the quality, quantity, potency, purity, standard and price of the goods. C. A right to be assured wherever possible, access to the authority of goods at competitive prices. D is the right to be heard and to be assured that consumer interests will receive due consideration at appropriate forums. E. The right to seek redressal against unfavorable practices or unscrupulous exploitation of consumer. And lastly, F. The right to consumer education. A Consumer Protection Council is established at central and state level. Also, a quasi-judiciary is set up at district level, state level and central level for speedy and simple redressal to consumer disputes. So these are the objectives of the Consumer Protection Act, and the objective is to provide protection to the consumers. Now, who is the consumer? Let's see. Consumer means any person who buys any goods for a consideration which has been paid or promised or partly paid and partly promised, or under any system of deferred payment, and includes any user of such goods other than the person who buys such goods for consideration, when such use is made with the approval of such person but does not include a person who obtains such goods for resale or for any commercial purposes. The same above is also applicable to any services for a consideration. Now further, commercial purposes in above does not include use by a person of goods bought and used by him and services availed by him exclusively for the purpose of earning his livelihood by means of self-employment. That means goods and services, consumer is the one who actually uses them and not one who procures them for resale. So, for example, a automobile dealer who deals in selling of automobiles or automotives is not a consumer, but an auto rickshaw driver who purchases auto and drives himself for his livelihood is a consumer. Now next is, what is complaint? Complaint means any allegation in writing made by the complainant for 1. Unfair or restrictive trade practice adopted by any trader or service provider. 2. Defective goods. 3. Deficiency in service provided. 4. Extra price charged than what is promised or provided under law or printed on the pack or list price displayed. 5th. Goods offered in contravention to any standard related to safety. So this is meant by complaint. Now, what is consumer dispute? It means a dispute where the person against whom a complaint has been made denies or disputes the allegation. Now, what is the defect? What does it mean? Defect means any fault, imperfection or shortcoming in the quality, quantity, potency, purity or standard which is required to be maintained under the law. Now, deficiency service means any shortcoming, imperfection or inadequacy in the manner of performance required to be maintained. Next is, what is district forum? Means a consumer dispute redressal forum established to resolve the dispute at district level. State commission means consumer dispute redressal commission established at a state level. And national commission means National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission at national level. Thus, there are two types. One is the Consumer Protection Councils. They are established at district, national and state level with ministers in charge of consumer affairs at national and state level and the collector at the district level as head. Now the objective is to promote and protect rights of consumer at various levels. So with the Ministry of Consumer Protection in charge, they set up different protection councils at national, state and district levels. Now, consumer disputes redressal agencies are also set up at district forum, state commission and national commission for redressal of consumer complaints, and they are headed by the district judge or equivalent of him, a high court judge or equivalent of him, and a Supreme Court judge or equivalent respectively, and their appointment is done by the government. Now, there are pecuniary limitations on the various commissions based on the value of the suit. For example, National Commission has jurisdiction to entertain complaint where value of goods or services exceed 1 crore and also appeals against the order of the State Commission. Likewise, State Commission can entertain complaints where value of goods or services exceed rupees 20 lakhs and also appeals against the district forum within the state. Any complaint below rupees 20 lakhs lies with the district forum. So these are the pecuniary jurisdictions. We have seen what is the pecuniary jurisdiction in our earlier episode. Now what is appeal? Any person aggrieved by an order by the National Commission may prefer an appeal against such order to Supreme Court within a period of 30 days from that order on payment of some fees. Now, limitation period. The district forum, state commission and national commission shall not admit complaint unless it is filed within 2 years from the date of cause of the action arose. It means the limitation period set is 2 years from the cause of action which arose on that day. Within 2 years you have to file a complaint. If you are aggrieved with the decision given by the district forum, you can appeal within 30 days to state commission, and if you are not satisfied with the redressal form or decision given by the state commission, within 30 days you can appeal to national commission, and if you are not satisfied with the national commission's order, then you can go to ultimately to Supreme Court. Now, finality of the order. Every order of a district forum, state commission or national commission is final if no appeal has been preferred. These commissions have right to attach the property of person not complying with their order. There is also a provision of penalty and also imprisonment up to 3 years for non-complying with the order. There is a specific procedure prescribed to file a complaint, which we will not go into details here. If any sample testing is required, it has to be done at prescribed laboratories authorized by the government. No adjournment of proceedings is allowed, and they are supposed to be done day-to-day basis unless specific justifiable reason is given. Thus, this process is cheaper and faster and simple than the normal civil court proceedings. There is a nominal fee to be paid for registering a complaint given in the Act. Up to 1 lakh complaint, you have to pay only rupees 100. Up to 20 lakhs, you have to pay 2000, and above 1 crore, you have to pay about 5000 rupees. Thus, the Consumer Protection Act intends to protect the rights of the consumer against the unscrupulous and fraudsters and the defective goods. We end here with the Consumer Protection Act. Thank you.